So it can't have been an easy thing for him to cope with. He's making himself look every bit the favourite that people should be talking up, though. Here.
Oh, he is. It's been whatever happens from here on in, it's been an absolutely incredible ride by Tom Pidcock. But as we said earlier on in this broadcast, it's not just the expectations externally on Tom Pidcock. He has his own internal expectations. He expects himself to be up there with the best riders in the world and beating the best riders in the world. It's just that so far on the road, it's only happened on 3 occasions. You know, his 3rd pro win came just a few weeks ago in a stage of the Vuelta Algarve. He was disappointed in his ride this time last week, despite getting 5th at Omloop, but this is who he thinks he should be on the road.
Dan, your prediction is playing out. The gap goes up to 25 here. They cannot agree. They cannot decide. Nobody wants to take the full responsibility of chasing things back. And then having nothing left for Via Santa Caterina, Mohoric will try and use his own descending skills here. You can understand if it's a group of riders who are all in the same or all in different teams, but you've got 2 riders in there on the same team who have not combined, just as the team did fantastically well last week to bring it back. We saw a little glimpse of Van der Poel and company there, and as we come to the bottom here in this U-turn that Dan was talking about, the gap is almost 30 seconds.
Yeah, Mohoric doing the right thing, going to the front there to try and use his skills to keep the gap at least where it is, if not bring it down. It's still hovering at the 26-second mark. But I think these riders are all looking at each other now, aren't they, visibly. They're just starting to think of whether they're going to get a place on the podium as opposed to whether or not they're going to take the win today. Ticks up by another second. And Pidcock will have those time gaps in his ear from the sports directors behind. He probably would have looked around at some point and seen how close they were on that previous tarmac climb. And there would have been a thought going through his head, I might well get caught here if they're that close now. But really, he's never put a foot wrong. He's concentrated from the moment that he went to going as fast as he possibly could over the distance towards the finish here in Siena. And as things stand right now, looks like it's going to pay off for him.
Well, he's coming up to Via Santa Caterina, a launch pad that's launched more successful missions than Cape Canaveral in the last few years. But it looks as though there's going to be no contest behind unless there's a major change in what's going to happen in this race. It's almost half a minute. 1 single second shy of that number. Behind still there's no full committal. The gap will grow if this carries on. Only now do we see the move from Attila Valter. But he needs something superhuman in the final kilometre to really chase this back from Pidcock.
It would need something superhuman, yeah, because the rest of them are all following Attila Valter. And so as soon as he looks around, I think, and sees that he hasn't got any gap over the group that he's in, he'll probably sit up again and leave things to Tish Benoit for the final climb up towards the finish. Here we go then.
It's a sight for sore eyes if you've been out there fighting it out on the dirt, dusty roads of Tuscany. Tom Pidcock goes onto the 1 kilometre to go banner alone and with a gap that totals 28 seconds to Mohoric, Costa, Madouas, Benoit and Valter, the last 2 being teammates who've had a bit of a visible falling out on the run-in. Jumbo-Visma played it perfectly both days last weekend, but unless something changes dramatically as they come to the paving stones of Via Santa Caterina, it will be Ineos Grenadiers who are going to take this classic. It'll be Tom Pidcock to take victory here. They queue left and right, several deep. Pidcock will come into this little left turn. The road is about to ramp up. The gradients will be hellish for one final time. But Tom Pidcock has his own appointment with history in this modern classic. He's turned up on time. He increases his lead, 32 seconds. And as this stands, it's almost a procession to victory in a square famous for the things. Piazza del Campo waits. Pidcock has come from the crossfield where he missed the World Championships to prepare for the classic season, to starting to boss things on the road. He wanted to be on form from opening weekend all the way to Liège. It's just the second weekend of the classics and he's riding away to victory. 4.5 hours against the very best in the world on a perfect parcours. Picturesque, but also punishing. Tom Pidcock has done it, Dan.
He has, and he took a glance over his shoulder, one of the only glances over his shoulder he's done for quite some time, and he would have seen that there was a big gap, if he even could see any of that group behind. So I just hope that he can soak up this atmosphere now and take in what he has just achieved here today.
How many races finish in a place as special as Piazza del Campo in Siena? How many bike riders come through to punish the rest of the field, just like Tom Pidcock? Pidcock has played it perfectly. The first British man to conquer the white roads of Tuscany and take home the winner's medal. Ready to step onto the podium in a modern classic. It's the next generation, led by Tom Pidcock. Pidcock wins Strade Bianche, and he does it in some style. Behind, they fight for podium positions. Groupama FDJ rode valiantly throughout the day, and it's going to be Valentin Madouas who'll take it, and the former winner Tish Benoot will have a bit of an inquest. He's third on the podium again.